Okay, welcome to the DLCG State of the Union and Happy New Year, everyone. Bienvenue tous nos côtiers de DLCMA au Québec. Nous sommes ravis de vous avoir avec nous aujourd'hui. You know, this has become my favorite way to start the year. This is now our 6th annual State of the Union. Let me begin with addressing all of our owners, team leads, brokers, agents, lenders, and partners. It's always an honor to be before you. And thank you for your unwavering commitment to DLCG. And to our staff, now over 170 strong. Your contributions to our success doesn't get recognized enough. We are fortunate to have an incredible staff that makes the difference every day. And to all of you, thank you for a great 2024 and your dedication to an even better 2025. In the next hour or so, you will hear from Gary, Kate, and Jeff, and they will reveal what 2025 has in store for us, including new initiatives, a market update, and as we continue to look for ways to add value. As they go through their talk, you will quickly realize the investments we are making, the projects that we are working on, the people that we are putting in place, the innovation in our technology, and the attention in the detail, all to add value to you, to help Canadians with the right advice for their home ownership dreams and financing welfare. As you know, I say to my team, our responsibility is to make a difference. And how we are measured, the impact of that is important. We do that from hearing from you. Much of what we do is because of you. We just wrapped up yesterday the Aging University in Laval avec mes amis au Québec. We had over 1,800 attending universities right across the country. And because of that, I was in front of many agents at one time, and I received a lot of feedback. You know, hearing about the staff member that helped you and made a difference. Stories because you attended an event and maybe it was MPP that you learned about and you implemented in the process of your business. And thankfully you did, because it saved that client and kept a roof over their head. Knowing with velocity, it has saved time and helped you grow your business. This kind of feedback drives us to innovate for the future. Seeing all the thousands of testimonials of Gold Rush, which came about because of the renewal cliff. 2025 will have over 1.2 million renewals this year, being the biggest renewal year, and we are so happy to hear the feedback we're getting about Gold Rush and how it's telling us that it's making your year even better because of it. This feedback really reinforces our mission. When our lenders and partners appreciate the reports that we share, that helps them sharpen their sales plans to our networks. Analytics that help formulate new products. Data that helps with risk assessment. Again, reinforcing our mission to add value to our partners. All we ask is that you keep leaning in. So, as you're reviewing your 2025 plan, or maybe some of you are still working on it, I ask you, what can DLCG do for you? What can MCC do for you? MA, DLC. What can Mike, Rich, Gary, or Eddie Cocholo do to help you achieve your goals? What can we do for you? Okay, let's get started with our guests. Before we do, a reminder, we encourage you to make comments and ask questions. If you're using Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, just go in that comment section and please use that throughout the presentation. And also, if you hear something that you want to validate, give us a thumbs up, clapping hands, maybe a big heart. We'd really appreciate the feedback. Okay, I think we're ready for our first guest. You all know him. He's our founder and CEO. Please put your emoji hands together and welcome Gary Mauris.
Eddie, thank you. Really great introduction. Really appreciate you doing such great work like you have for so many years. Okay, team, listen, good morning. I'm in Vancouver. I was traveling earlier this week, but it's nice to be back in the office. And as Eddie said, this is the time of the year that we all get a fresh start. We get a new sort of 12 months or 365 unblemished days. And it really is a time of year that I like to sort of just create the foundation for what's going to, come ahead of us this upcoming year. So first off, just to sort of reiterate what Eddie says, it's an opportunity for us to just kind of review 2024, look over some of the successes that we had. And 2024 was actually a really, really good year. Surprising, obviously, it was more difficult. A lot of our loans were, shorter term loans. But, we still were very resilient and I'll share some numbers with you, but did very well as a organization. I want to kind of talk to you about 2025 and what we expect in the market, where we think the opportunities are, maybe some new partnerships, just some housekeeping things around DLC and how we're doing things differently. We're always looking at our business every single day to find new ways to create more value for all of you. How can I make all of you more efficient? How can I make you more profitable? How can I make you better communicators? And I promise that will never stop. Before I kind of go there, I want to do this, and it's really important to me, and I do it every chance I get. But I wanted to just make a heartfelt reach out to all of our agents and owners, and just again, guys, thank you for being so loyal to us, so good at what you do. Thank you for representing us so incredibly well in every province, every small city, every jurisdiction, right across the country, whether it's DLC, MCC, or MA. I couldn't be prouder. We couldn't be prouder as a group to have all of you representing us. It gives me goosebumps because I know how well Canadians are being served by the professionalism of this organization. We do about 140,000 new mortgage transactions every single year through all of you across the country. And you guys do it with pride, with character, and with expertise. So if I don't get a chance to tell you how important you are to all of us and what you mean to this company, I just want to drive that point home because that will never change. You've heard me say for 19 years now, you will never work for us. We will work for you. I kick the ass, all of my team all the time to make sure that they understand how important it is for us to really listen and take what you guys are saying to heart and learn from you so that we can provide a better foundation for all of you. I want to just speak about our lenders and our partners as well, because I feel much the same way about them. DLC, as you know, is number one with all of the top 10 lenders in Canada. And we have been now for, it's got to be 9 or 10 years running. We're not number two with some of them. We're not trying to get the number one. We're number one with all 10 out of 10. So if you run across any competitor, any conversation that they say they're number one, you better start calling them Pinocchio because they're not. These numbers are provided to us from our lenders at the end of each year. And it's something we're very proud of because we really, really try to be good partners. To the 17, I just missed it, flashed up, 17 years with DLC. Thank you so much. Incredible. Shayla, appreciate that very much. So happy to have you. Amazing. Anyway, to our lender partners, our BDMs, our underwriters, it's really nice to give the top of the house recognition to, tell all of, the senior people how much we appreciate them and their commitment to our space and their commitment to our company and our brands. But I want to peel it down to the lower levels too, to the underwriters and to the fulfillment officers and to the BDMs who are answering our calls like late into the night and evening and solving problems for us. And if they can't help us, maybe recommending where, we can go to get a certain deal approved or funded. I don't think you get recognized to the point that you should. I would say to all of our teams, please, if you get a second and just, takes a minute, 30 seconds, send an email, send a text to somebody who you've worked with, one of your BDMs at one of the, banks or trust companies or credit unions, and just tell them at the beginning of the year how important they are to your business and how instrumental they've been in your success. I think it's really, really amazing to recognize these people because they don't always get it and they are so damn deserving. I want to just sort of go on. I want to talk about sort of DLCG, the group, as a winning formula. If you look at the slide that is in front of you, obviously, here's the makeup of our company. And this is a really good opportunity to give you a really, really quick sort of snapshot or look back of last year. Obviously, y'all know DLC, Dominion Lending Centers, is one of our key brands, along with Mortgage Center, who's been, with us now since 2013 after we acquired them, and Mortgage Architects since 2016. As we've integrated and vended Mortgage Center and Mortgage Architects into the DLCG family, it has been nothing but a blessing. Every brand is unique. Every brand has, something a little bit different. We've realized over the years that there's no sense trying to put an agent or a team or an office, into a certain home. There's no square pegs going into round holes. We always want to work with our agents and our teams, and we want to find the very best home for them so that it really works well for how they operate their business. So if I look back, and I'm going to give you numbers that you see on the screen, and I'll quickly go through them. Now, keep in mind, the numbers are trailing 12 months as of September 2024. We are a publicly traded company. I'm going to speak about that in a few minutes on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So I can't give you or anyone in the public any advanced notice or final numbers before they are released publicly, and our Q4 earnings and MD&A come out at the end of March. But as of September of 2024, last year we had $62 billion in funded mortgage volume as a 12-month look back. You can just skip back, please, Tara. Just that one screen we're looking at there. So we had $62 billion as of September in a trailing 12-month funded volume. You should know that means 2024 over 2023 will probably end up somewhere between 18 and 20% increase year over year. In a tough market where everything was short term because people were anticipating mortgage rates starting to come down, we started to see all of these short term mortgage financings. That's amazing for us, a company our size, to increase by 18 to 20%. We're up to almost 9,000 mortgage professionals. It's been crazy. We're seeing more mobile mortgage professionals from the banks, more of the bank sales force leaving the banks and coming to the broker channel. And we are getting a disproportionate share of the upside. We're super proud of that. And then, of course, our franchise numbers is pretty steady. We're very selective with, people who we're granting franchises to right now. We are seeing some of our small operations that are integrating into some of our larger teams. It's getting way harder right now, guys, in terms of the framework that the regulators are putting in front of us. It's very good for companies like ours. We work very closely with FSDRA and RECA and BCFSA. But if you're a small team out there right now, or you're a small competitor, man, the next few years is going to be very difficult for you. They're doing random audits all over the place right now. They want these small organizations to be with the larger ones that have, better structures when it comes to compliance, that has, better reporting divisions that can solve problems and run towards problems anytime one comes up at any, area in the Canadian market. I always say to people, and this is especially important for you as a mortgage professional, I have never seen a yellow light turn green. Yellow lights only turn red. So if there's a problem or you suspect something on a file or you see something, please run to us, run to Mary Gronkowski, head of our compliance, run to any of your division heads that you're dealing with. It is absolutely amazing, right? Like, the kind of job that we've done and how we've been out front and ahead of, these compliance regulatory frameworks that are now a huge part of our business. All of the associations are talking to each other. They promise more spot audits this year. So I just want you to be aware of it. Our group, and you saw it with Velocity, and you saw it with the AML rollout. We rolled out the best anti-money laundering framework in the Canadian industry. We were first to market. We were the only guys to do it at no cost for any of you. So it's been a really important initiative for us because our job is to protect you, and our job is to protect Canadian consumers so they have the confidence that when they're working with one of our brands, they know they're not only going to get the best mortgage product and the best rate, but they're going to get, their data. It's going to be protected. It's going to be, visible. It's going to be transparent, to only those on the mortgage file. We want to make sure that we keep all of our office owners and all of our customers as safe as humanly possible. So the, if you go to the next slide, Tara, and you look at sort of our business model here a little bit, we have an extensive distribution, and it's a very resilient business model. If you look at our funded volumes year over year have had this amazing, long, steady arc. You see a little bit of a dip in 2023, obviously after the COVID years that were, sort of unicorn years, historically high. But you've seen we had a great jump back in 2024, and our expectations for 2025 is incredibly high. So we're really looking forward to kind of the road ahead of us. I want to speak to you about the company itself, Dominion Lending Centers, and the company itself. And I want to show you sort of the stock chart today. Some of you know, some of you don't know, we're a publicly traded company. The stock has been on a real tear, obviously, this year. If you have a look at it today, it's trading anywhere between, sort of $7.50, $8. I think maybe a little bit higher today. I don't look at it every single day. Honestly, it's not a huge driver of how I make any decisions. It's interesting because if you look at the DLCG stock, and earlier this year, it traded somewhere around $4 for a very long time. I wanted to just explain to all of you why we saw the jump. Number one, we've seen the big jump because there's a lot of tailwinds behind us right now. We think the next 3 or 4 years are going to be our best 3 or 4 years. But the stock jumped because what a lot of people didn't know, although we were a publicly traded company, Chris K and I, we had a block of what they called pref shares, preferred shares, and they were non-publicly traded shares. So they didn't trade in the public market. Well, because of where we're going as an industry and because of the pent-up demand and the rates coming down and the renewal that are coming over the next 3 years, we thought it was a really, really good time for us to vend our pref shares into common shares. So now our common shares are the same as any other shareholder in Canada. Any one of our mortgage brokers who in the past has invested in the company, I'm really happy for you guys. You've had a significant increase in your share value. You deserve it. Thank you for being loyal and hanging on. Anyone in the future, we're really proud of the company that we built and where we're going. And we expect very, very good things in the next 3 to 5 years. But if you want to look at it, you want to follow it, guys, the ticker symbol is DLCG. Obviously, it trades in the Toronto Stock Exchange. We're very proud of the company direction. We've had some when you're a public company, you get analysts or researchers that follow you. So there's all these investment bankers that follow you, and they write reports on the company, and they make recommendations to their clients at the bank whether or not they should be, buying pieces of public companies. Here's a comment that was just recently posted by one of these research analysts after attending a university. Said, we participated in a well-attended conference hosted by DLCG in Toronto with 650 plus broker attendees. We came away very impressed by the various speakers and panelists and have a greater appreciation of DLC's path towards $100 billion in origination. A lot of you know, if you are aware of my 5-pillar strategy and what drives me as a company, the $100 billion is the commitment that we've made internally to our entire team of what we expect to achieve in 25, 26, and 27. He speaks about a price target of $725, driven by increases in our estimates and multiple, recognizing DLC as a leader in the mortgage distribution platform with a strategic and unique fintech asset. We've already obviously exceeded that expectation of 725 that was earlier in the fall. But nonetheless, as I said, a lot of you know, I've never ever in 7 years now said to anyone, buy our stock. I don't listen. You're aware of it. You're part of our network. You're part of it. Great. If it fits into your portfolio and you think it's a great fit, that's cool. And if don't, we expect nothing of you ever, no strings attached. We don't care. But as a public company, I wanted to share and sort of give you the outline. So I want to talk to you about where the mortgage broker market is headed, in our opinion. When I say our next 3, 4, 5 years are going to be our best 5 years, it isn't something that I say lightly. It isn't something that I say to get anybody excited. I think anyone who knows me, knows me well enough that I never make promises we don't deliver. When we say something, we always try to do it. It's extraordinarily important to us. We're very thoughtful. We try to be realistic on any of our forward thinking, especially since we've been a public company. It's crucial that we are. But there's a lot of really, really good signs for us as mortgage brokers, into the future. There's a lot of tailwinds that are back for the first time in a very long time. And let me just kind of walk you through kind of some of those tailwinds. Obviously, we know the last couple of years were difficult years between sort of July 2022 June 2022 and July 2023. We know there was 10 interest rate increases. We know it got very difficult for a lot of consumers for a couple of years. We know we had escalating mortgage payments. Inflation was out of control. Today, it's much tamer in terms of inflation. The rates have started to come down. As you guys know, we've had 5 rate decreases at this point. We expect to see, probably at least 1 or 2 more in 2025. The rates right now are at a place that is very palpable, very doable for most Canadians right now. There's a huge pent-up demand. All those people over the last couple of years that maybe couldn't buy, they're priced out of the market. The rates were, hadn't started to come down yet. So we think that's going to trigger a lot more housing activity, nominal increases in housing prices in 2024. We have an easing of qualification and product guidelines from the lenders and regulators. We're starting to see some products and term extensions that we haven't seen in a long time that we think bode really well for us for the future. We're now seeing and going back to longer term mortgages. Customers can be comfortable that, they're good choosing a 5-year term. It's safe again, where we didn't have to recommend as a fiduciary duty a 1, 2, or 3-year mortgage rate, as we knew rates would eventually come down. We're starting to see those longer terms. That bodes well for us, obviously. Obviously, we all know over the next 3 years, there's more mortgage renewals coming due in the history of our country than have ever come up for renewal in the past. 83% of all standing mortgages are up for renewal. We're going to get a look at all of those mortgages. With Gold Rush and some of our technology, we're doing a much better job, obviously staying in touch with our customers. We're getting a higher percentage of those mortgage renewals. We're really, really doing good work for our mortgage customers. And the pie is growing. There's more Canadians every single year that understand that the value of using a mortgage broker is incredible. If you've ever used one and had a good experience, you'll never go back to the bank. I don't know about any of you, but my kids are 33 and 27 years old. I mean, if my kids walk into the bank once, in the last 5 years, I'd be absolutely surprised. They start online, they get the information, and they go to a broker, same as all of your kids. So when I look at sort of the tailwinds, lower interest rates, pent-up demand, lowering and easing of mortgage guidelines, back to longer terms, the bigger pie, percentage of the pie, I just see continued growth. And I compare it to Australia and the United Kingdom. You've heard me talk about this before. It's very important. The UK and the United Kingdom, their percentage of mortgage loans done through brokers is between sort of 60 and 80%. You see the most recent graph, 70% Australia, 87% now in the UK. Well, only 10 years ago, they had about the same market share as us. And 10 years ago, people thought that they were at the top and they weren't going to get more market share, and they have continued to get more market share year over year. One thing that they actually really look to for the reason why they've had such increase in market share is they got better with technology early. They were way better working with their mortgage professionals in their offices, helping them stay in touch with their past customers, helping them without fail communicate via multiple technologies, SMS, text messaging, email marketing, direct mail. It's the exact same thing that we built with Velocity in this last year. A lot of you have come on to the Gold Rush platform. I'm going to speak about it in a minute here. It has been absolutely game-changing. Not only has it been game-changing for us to get a disproportionate share or more of those renewals than ever before, but we're getting more new business and more referrals. And working with our past customers is always the best use of our time. Why? Because they're just good customers. They know us. They understand our business. We have all the documentation. They know, like, and trust us. They know we're going to give them the best advice, the best rate. We have a fiduciary duty to look after them and always find them the best product. So I expect our industry is going to follow the Australia and United Kingdom, sort of trajectory as to where they've gone it over the last 10 years. So we're super excited about what's ahead of us for that as well. So if we look at growth opportunities again, and I want you to just really understand sort of how, when we look to a really, positive future, what are some of the key drivers? And for us, Number one, the number of Canadians that use a broker is going up every single year, right? So, and that's something that we see, no slowdown at whatsoever. So we're gonna, naturally grow and do more mortgage volume as agents because consumers are really starting to understand what we do. Kate Brady's going to talk about some marketing campaigns. We're really hammering down on our marketing, all three brands going forward to really help Canadians understand that working with a mortgage professional is really, really is good for them, makes sense for them. It's going to create competitive tension, get them the lowest overall cost for the mortgage. The second thing that drives funded mortgage volume for a company like ours is number of mortgage brokers in our network. And as I said, a lot of the banks, more of the bank sales forces are coming over to the broker channel than ever before. Why? Because they understand it is where the customers are going. I expect more banks to come back into our space. You saw BMO come back here this last year. By the way, guys, they've rolled out slowly. Obviously, they wanted to get it right. They're thrilled with the success they've had. They've been a very, very good lender. We work with them extraordinarily close. We're their number one partner. We are going to be rolling out in the other provinces. We're going to make some announcements coming up shortly. So for those who have been patiently waiting, that is coming. So anyway, the increase of mortgage brokers and the amount coming to the space is boding well because the pie and the overall amount of Canadians using brokers is getting bigger. Obviously, mortgage refinancing, getting a better handle on staying in touch with our past customers more frequently is going to drive more refinances, more top-ups sooner. And then, of course, the number of home sales and transactions that we expect in the coming years are expected to increase. So we know that's going to drive our overall business too. If I speak to that alone right there in the number of home sales and transactions, both Remax and Royal LePage have put price increases for 2025 targeted between 5 and 6%. So we're going to see the average property value go up 5 and 6%. And if I look at CREA most recent announcements expected the units, the amount of house units in 2025 to go up by about 8.5%, 8.6, I think was their most recent posting. So we're super excited. I just saw Dr. Sherry Cooper popped up on screen. Hi, Sher. So great to see you. Dr. Sherry Cooper has been incredible for us for so many years. She's been giving all of you incredible insights as our chief economist. Thank you for all the great work that you've done, Doctor. Okay, let's sort of jump over to, I'm going to give you the roadmap really quickly, guys, to how I run Dominion Lending Centers, and then I'm going to translate it to you as a mortgage broker, how you can run your business. So at Dominion Lending Centers, every year I'm very clear. I want our people spending their focus on 5 key strategies. So our vision over 3 years is to get to $100 billion in mortgage origination for all the reasons, the pent-up demand, the lower rates, everything I just went through. We think we're on a good track to do that. Obviously, velocity and the enhancement of velocity is really important to us. You are going to see over this, coming year, some integration of AI. We think AI is a huge part of our future going forward. I use AI every single day. I use it for every meeting. I use it for every summary, every white page, every video I create. It's been a huge part of sort of how I do my day-to-day business. I expect it to become a huge part of velocity in terms of product searching, maybe some underwriting eventually. We have a product team that's looking at this right now and looking at easy ways to integrate so that it's easy to use. Velocity has to be our focus and will continue to be our focus. I want to thank all of you because you guys have been such good supporters. At DLC, more than 85% of you have now converted to Velocity. DLC, MCC, and MA as a group, we're somewhere at around 75%. I know there's a lot of transition now because of Gold Rush, so we expect the entire group to be sort of shored up and converted probably over the next 12 months. For us, recruitment is always a huge part of our business. We know that the more agents we have across Canada every single year has converted to the higher average income per agent. Makes sense. The more representation, the more brand awareness, the more consumers are using our company, the higher the mortgage origination volume goes up. It's important for us to obviously focus on retention. It's like a bathtub. If we have both faucets on, but the plug is out, we are not making any progress. So retention, working with our agents and our top owners will always be a huge commitment. Same store sales has been a huge initiative for us. How do I help you guys do more business every single year? I think we've done that. I think Gold Rush speaks to that. It's been knocking it out of the park. I'm going to give you some numbers on that in a minute. And I want you to cross-sell. I want you to protect your customers. I want you to make sure that in the unlikely event of a death, but the very likely event of a disability, that our mortgage customers are protected through the life of the mortgage cycle. Now, I give you that framework for DLC, and this is what my presidents and our team and those 170 staff use as their guiding star. This actual 5-pillar strategy is what we use. But how does it work for you as a broker, or how does it work for you as an owner? So when I look at velocity, you should be on velocity, understanding it internally to make your business as efficient as possible. When I look at the recruiting, I would call it new customer generation. It's your job to constantly generate new clients who want to use you, referrals from past customers. When I look at retention, this is your screaming reminder to get good at your database. You should be fanatical about your database. You should never, ever have a higher priority than the creation of your database, the management of your database, the updating of your database. It is the most important tool that you have next to the telephone in your incredible business. When I look to my roadmap, my DLC vision, your vision when it comes to same-store sales should be Gold Rush. How do I increase my Gold Rush penetration so I can stay in touch with all my past customers who are going to feel much more connected with you? They're going to feel more comfortable to reach out to you. I'm seeing all the Gold Rush love on screen. Guys, if you're on this call right now and Gold Rush has changed your business, your engagement, generated leads, just do me a favor. I've seen just overload this screen with just, yeah, love it. Because I try to explain to people how powerful it is. And there's always those late adopters. It's like, I don't understand it. Like, they won't take the time to trust us. We're never going to steer you in the wrong direction. Anyway, I'm going to get there in just a minute and tell you. But lastly, on my vision, MPP, I would look to that, right, as an easy way to offer a great product that protects your customer. If your customer buys their mortgage protection, the life and disability on their mortgage from one of the lenders or one of the banks, and they get sick, it's non-portable. Ours is a fully portable product. You can always offer them the best rate going forward. It's your fiduciary duty to make the best decision for our clients, and you guys continue to do that. So thank you, guys. All right, Gold Rush, I'm not going to kill it because you guys are doing it for me right here, but I want to just talk about it. We created Gold Rush because I started looking at UK and Australia many years in advance. I wanted to get to that 60 to 80% of all origination loans done through brokers, and I knew we had to do a better job at helping you stay in touch with your database. I also know you're very busy. You have family and kids and play dates and birthdays on top of everything you do for a living. I get that. It's hard. So I said, why don't we set up a program where we'll actually take your database, we'll help you clean it up so that it's pure and accurate, and then we'll set up 31 touch points for you every year. We'll reach out to your customers on behalf of you, right, coming from you with the very best branded, the very best marketing tools that we've had, and we help you stay in touch 31 times per year. Did you guys know that the SMS text platform on Gold Rush has been absolutely killing it? Do you know that last year alone, we sent out 7 million texts on your behalf? Did you know that the average person reads a text in 90 seconds or less? Did you know the average person reads their email in 12 hours? 12 hours. So why would you not do more around SMS text messaging? It's in real time. It's absolutely amazing. Look at this. We had 7,479 emails that we sent last year. Now here, I'm going to give you the hammer. I'm going to drop the ball with this stat. Those are our brokers who adopted Gold Rush as of March of 2024 to the end of November in 2024. We're up 72% more over a late adopter or someone who wasn't on Gold Rush in funded volume. Their volume was up 72% more than those not using Gold Rush. So guys, if you're not on Gold Rush, I know there's probably a screen. Is there a CRM, what am I looking for, Tara? If you're not on Gold Rush, I don't know if there is a screenshot that you can just screen right now in order to download it. Anyway, if there's not, before the end of this call, I'll get one up for you. You need to make sure that you're on Gold Rush. Do not go on Gold Rush and say, I want to change it. I want to run different campaigns. Trust us, guys. Follow our lead. We also are integrating this year. There it is. If you want to register for Gold Rush, quickly, you can just scan that. We'll make sure you're a priority. It is fairly extensive. It's a build out for our team, so it does take a little bit of time. But if you haven't got to it, guys, it is the #1 tool that we have ever created in the history of the DLCG group of companies in 20 years. It is going to add 20, 30, 40% right? More to your business this year if you're an experienced broker. If you're a new broker, we have nurture campaigns where we'll help you stay in touch with all of your past, relationships, friends and family and other parents on the sports fields on the weekend. It's really, really important. So I'll show you a couple of really fast online testimonies from Gold Rush. Quick, we'll just run through them. There's Sharon. This was just, all these were captured on screenshots from Facebook or Instagram. I have 2 new clients this past week. That's great. Let's just go to the next one. Gold Rush has been a real game changer. I have 3 active files right now that were a direct result of Gold Rush. Thanks very much, Jess. Appreciate you guys. Maria, I really like this one, right? I've been signed up for a few weeks. I find it's amazing. I'm hearing people all over. The SMS on birthdays is huge. I didn't use email. Didn't have much addresses in the past. So I've been trying to connect over the last year. This is a great option. So far, 3 new deals. That's great. And then Pam, who's been with us for years up in Grand Prairie, very top producer, actually, just a really good long-term, excellent broker. I signed up for Gold Rush around the beginning of March. I had to do a small amount of cleanup on velocity, nothing serious, as I tend to keep my dashboard very clean. I've never had a database, which is unbelievable with all my years as a mortgage broker. So I was excited to start. I'm actually moved towards tears. It was highly emotional to finally have such a fantastic system to help my business. Initially, I was still determined. Initially, I was still determining whether to text clients, but this turned out to be some very positive responses. To date, I'm trying to just fast rate it. To date, I have completed 6 deals that came directly from Gold Rush. Thanks, guys. I know I'm hammering this point home, and I'm so sorry, guys, to beat you over the head with something. But it's really important to me for any of you who maybe haven't adopted it or have tried to kind of tweak the messaging on Gold Rush. We have really created something special here. We are going to be adding direct consumer mail out sometime this year as well. So we're going to communicate to our past customers via email, SMS, and outbound direct mail. We think is going to be huge for us as well. I'm excited about it because you're making more money. Obviously, you make more money. The company grows. The company is strong. So thank you, guys. Shayla, thank you. It was a life changer for me. I sure appreciate that. Okay. Here's a couple new cool things, and I'm gonna get through them really quick because I'm sorry I'm overdue. Remax. We're gonna announce today, guys, that the DLC Dominion Lending Centers has just announced a national partnership with Remax Canada. We've had a very close relationship with Remax over the years. We work with all the companies out there. We work with Royal LePage, Coldwell Banker, but we've never had an official corporate arrangement with Remax. As of today, we do. We will be their partners. We will be presenting at every one of their events across the country. Matter of fact, we've had some staff in Calgary and Edmonton over the last 2 days presenting to their kickoffs and to their owner meetings. We plan to work closer with Remax than we ever have in the history of our company. We love the brand. We love the group. We love the leadership. A lot of you have heard Dave Lineker, who was the founder of Remax Worldwide, is a dear friend of mine. I'm going to see him in Scottsdale here in just a few weeks. We're going to be working with every single Remax office that we can. Some of them, you already in their offices. That's great. But where there's offices, where there's competitors and banks and that sort of stuff, we're going to be working with each office individually, trying to make sure that we do our best to get in front of them to convince them why they should be working with DLC agents in markets across the country. It works really well for Dominion Lending Centers. We have a national ad campaign, obviously, as Remax has a national ad campaign. It's going to be historic for us. I think it's really going to move the needle. It's going to help us drive all of our initiatives going forward. 25,000 agents across the country, we think can only lead to positive and exciting news going forward. So we just begun the rollout now. We will be reaching out to our different office owners over the coming months, figuring out ways how we can integrate and have a lot of you work closer with Remax agents. At the very least, you're going to be able to say to Remax agents across the country that Dominion Lending Centers is the preferred partner. I just saw we're already in the Remax office. Great, guys. If you're in there, perfect. We're not going to disrupt that. We're super excited about you, but it's the way we're thinking as a company right now. We're doing much larger partnerships that I think are really, really important for us going forward. And you guys deserve it. You know what? You're the best of the best. We want you to be very proud of the partnerships and the people that we hang with. They always say that you're a product of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I think this speaks volumes about that. Okay. Next, DLC is trying to get much better at helping all of you and all of your agents learn all of our tools. We have sort of remapped the way we run our sales force across Canada. We have either hired or job shifted. We have 10 new positions as regional vice presidents. Each regional vice president is going to oversee somewhere around 40 offices. They're going to be your exclusive contact at your office. They're going to help you build your business. They're going to work with the agents in the offices. They're going to make sure you understand all of our tools. They're going to do all of your training. They're going to make sure all of our head office initiatives are pushed through to your office. So when you know all of our events are, nothing's changed. All the support staff that you currently have at DLCG right now, with our head office staff, is going to remain the same. That staff isn't going anywhere. We've just added to our distribution to make it better so that we have a closer relationship with all of you. We want you guys using our tools. I'll give you a really good example of using our tools. We have something called the DLCG mobile app. Each brand has their own app. It's the one that Ben DG creates, best app in the Canadian mortgage finance space. And I want you guys to make sure that every time you deal with a customer, you say to your customer, listen, the first thing you have to do is download my mortgage app. Because as soon as you and I separate, as soon as you go home, you're going to want to run all kinds of calculations on, term and down payments and different interest rates and how long it's going to take you to pay off your mortgage. And if you put a bigger down payment, on your mortgage, how much sooner would you retire your mortgage loan? Like, did you guys know? And I want to drive this point home about maybe not using all the tools sometimes. Did you guys know the number one search term, right, in Canada and the US, it isn't lowest mortgage rates. It isn't best mortgage rates. It isn't, anything like that. It's mortgage calculators. So for those of you that aren't downloading, that aren't making your customers, asking them to download your mortgage app, like all you're doing is every time your customer's sitting at home and decide they want to Google lowest rates or get information, they're going onto Google and they're getting to all of your competitors. What happens when they go mortgage calculators or lowest rate? TD comes up and RBC comes up and CIBC comes up and all the competitors come up and Rate Hub comes up, and you're sending your customers into a shark tank, right? And you're sending them somewhere where the information could be outdated, not up to date. There could be special, reasonings for discount prices. So use the tools that we provided. Every time you have a customer say, the first thing you have to do is download my app. Because then you say to them, listen, you're going to be calculating all kinds of different scenarios, side by sides, lowest rate, down payments, and I want you to do it inside of our app. Number one, you're protecting them, right, from not getting, inaccurate old information. But most importantly, you're protecting that business from them getting marketed to and SMS messaged and outbound calling from, these other lenders and other competitors out there. So I want to really drive home that these RVPs are going to be out there to make sure that all of you understand the tools that we have, that you're using the tools and why you should be using the tools. Like, I would never send my clients, somewhere to just get online calculators. Like, what a risk to our business, right? When we have the very, very best tools in the industry. So I'm excited about that. Okay, guys, so look for your new RVPs. They're coming. Here's something new that I'm doing this year. I'm excited about it. A lot of you know that I've been doing this Level Up series for the last couple of years. I've interviewed some of the most prolific, speakers across North America. I wanted to do something that I can get to know all of you a little bit better. I wanted to do a weekly video series called Level Up in 5 Minutes. Level Up in 5 Minutes with Gary. I'm going to take all of our strategies and ideas that I get from all of our top performers across the country. I'm going to talk to you about business building practices and marketing practices. I'm going to speak to you about, goal setting. I'm going to talk to you about the principles that have really worked for our top performers. I'm going to go over leadership skills and qualities that I think will help you run a better mortgage business. And it's going to be in 5 minutes or less every single week. The first one goes out February 29th. It will be live. They're going to run every Wednesday. A lot of you have gone online. I made a post on my own social media. We had just a ton of you already sign up. But if you haven't signed up and you'd like to be part of the Level Up in 5 minutes or less with Gary, please, you can click on this screenshot here, and it's going to walk you through my homepage. You're going to give me your first, your last name, your email address. It is available to everyone. It doesn't matter, DLC, MCC, MA, if you're with a competitor, if you're with a bank, it doesn't matter to me, guys. I honestly believe that giving starts the receiving. The more you share, the more opportunities that you see. And I've always been one of those guys that wanted to give away any strategy or secret or idea that's worked for us. The only thing we ever want to do is help all of you become better at what you do and more professional. So I'm excited about this. It's like I say, it's a weekly video. Sometimes I'm going to do a shorter term, Zoom call with you guys. Sometimes it's going to be live on site. Sometimes they're going to be pre-recorded. But if you're interested in that, level up 5 minutes or less with Gary Mauris. If that's of any interest, I can't wait to get to know all of you better. I look forward to doing that throughout 2025. Okay, last piece of news for you is a lot of you know, guys, that Realtor.ca is the place where every Canadian goes to begin their house search. 2 billion listing views per year, 589 million unique visitors to that site per year, 242,000 average listings at any given time. They have never had any mortgage marketing. They have never had any partnership in the past where it was even available for them because of their actual structure. They've been working with a company called Pinch Financial. Pinch, a lot of you may know Pinch. They've been really instrumental in building and creating some of the best online mortgage tech in the Canadian mortgage space. They are the chosen partner to work with Realtor.ca, and Pinch and DLC have entered into a extended contract to become the only mortgage originator on Realtor.ca in terms of the broker community. So right now, the only way you can find a bank or a broker on Realtor.ca is when you find a property and you click on Get Qualified. They didn't want marketing all over their applications, obviously, all over their very successful site. But when you do click on Get Qualified, you do have a choice of 3 or 4 banks, and you will have a choice of Dominion Lending Centers. This partnership kicks off and goes live for us at the beginning of February. It is a beta for the first 60 days. It is a 60-day beta. We are expecting a lot of leads to come through this site. This site will send us leads from as little as first name, last name, and email, but it also has a journey, journey. It also has a process where you journey through and can provide more information. Some leads we'll be getting will be fully qualified leads with the credit application already pulled and provided. So I'm going to keep it super high level. When you go get qualified on Realtor.ca, it will be a handful of banks, probably like a Tangerine, maybe a CIBC, maybe another lender or two. But the only mortgage partner that will be clearly defined will be Dominion Lending Center. So we expect to get a lot of activity, a lot of recognition. We are going to be where Canadians go to do their home buying shopping. So we're excited about that. We're going to give you guys a lot more information as it rolls out. Please don't bombard us with a bunch of questions on this, guys, as you roll it out. It is a beta test, but it is an extended contract. So we're excited about it. We're going to learn a lot from this process and how we continue, to do a better job marketing to all the customers on Realtor.ca. But the point is, I want to leave you with, we're not sitting on our laurels here, guys. We're working our ass off. I'm driving our guys, as hard as we possibly can because you're very important to us. You've chosen the right company. You've chosen the right group. We're so happy to be the #1 mortgage provider in the country. This group originates more mortgages in Canada than any other Canadian bank. We are saving thousands of Canadian consumers, right? Like all kinds of unnecessary throwaway interest. We're giving them expert advice and we're getting them the lowest rate. So guys, with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kate Brady. Kate, take it away.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Gary. And thank you to all of you for joining us for our 6th annual State of the Union address. We have over 1,000 of you live today, and I can't wait to give you a bit of a marketing update. This broadcast truly is my absolute favorite of the year. It allows us to reflect on all the things we collectively accomplished in 2024, and it was a lot. But also, I can't wait to give you more of a sneak peek on where we're headed in 2025. So let's get started. One of the most important things I want to start with is thanking all of you. Last year was a banner year for DLC and Mortgage Architects. We actually took home a couple pieces of hardware. So huge congratulations to Mortgage Architects family, full service brokerage of the year. So well deserved. And of course, Dominion Lending Center's both national network of the year and marketing campaign of the year. And I want to be really clear here, guys, as much as we had the privilege of accepting these awards, these are because of all of you. It's because of our incredible networks, our owners, our agents, our lending partners, and of course, our head office staff that make this possible. But I would be remiss if I did not call attention to our incredible agents and owners who also collected a little bit of hardware last year. Big congratulations to all of our women of influence from across all three of our brands, Dominion Lending Centers, Mortgage Architects, and Mortgage Center Canada. We are so proud of you. And of course, 57% does not surprise me of our agents across all of our brands were on CMP's top 75 list. That is an incredible accomplishment. And of course, many more awards awarded to our networks last year. So big round of applause to all of you. And I can't wait to see where you're headed in 2025. So let's get started on a bit of a marketing recap. In 2024, I'm proud to say that our marketing team delivered over 1,280 individual assets across all three of our networks. Many of you may know we have various marketing libraries for each of our brands, where you can access a ton of different one-pagers, different brochures, event items, and of course, social squares. Your marketing team was there for you every step of the way as we saw rate decreases, which was an incredible good news story. And we continue to want to provide you with these assets into 2025. We're going to be building on that foundation that we laid last year, of course, and really focusing in on a lot more renewal content. We updated the first-time home buyer guides last year with all the new regulations, and we're going to continue to provide you with resources that will help you stay connected with your client and tell a story. Now more than ever it's important for you to have a brand. It's important for you to make noise, and it's important for you to differentiate yourself. We want to make sure you're staying connected with your clients, and we're going to continue to work very hard to make sure we're providing those valuable assets for you to do so. I want to shout out, of course, our Dominion Lending Center's custom marketing team. You know, I'm probably a little bit biased when I say we really do have the best marketing team in the business, both on the corporate side and the custom side. But our custom team for our Dominion Lending Center's agents delivered over 3,700 tickets last year at a 97% satisfaction rate, which is just incredible. It actually translates into over 6,000 different design items for our DLC brokers. And so what's in store for 2025? Well, much more of the same support, of course. And as we add to those marketing libraries, I want our Dominion Lending Center's brokers, of course, especially to think about how you can engage our custom design team and make it even further reflect your brand and be able to tell your story as we head throughout the year. Oh, I jumped ahead. Gold Rush, Gary just said, one of our biggest and most impactful programs we've ever launched. And marketing is so proud to have been part of that program launch last year. We created over 28 individual campaign touchpoints, a ton of SMS content. And as Gary said, 72% year-over-year growth for our agents that adopted Gold Rush from March until the end of last year. The 7.5 million SMS, 7 million emails says it all. And in 2025, for those of you not on yet, and for those of you that are on Gold Rush, get ready because we're adding a ton more SMS. We are refreshing visuals. We're looking at the content. We're adding additional campaigns. And as Gary alluded to, we're working hard with the Velocity team to create a direct mail campaign that we hope to launch towards the end of next year. So for those of you not on Gold Rush, I'm going to leave this up. Please scan the QR code. There's going to be a series of instructions. When you scan that QR code, you're going to land on a page. If you're on Velocity already and you're using that technology but not on Gold Rush, want to be part of this, as Gary said, and as I'm going to echo, being in touch with your database, staying top of mind in a heavy renewal season or any renewal season for that matter is so crucial to making sure your business continues to hum. And Gold Rush does it effortlessly. Our team with the setup last year was incredible. Huge shout out to the Velocity crew, Matt French, Vivian, Michelle, all of our incredible team, Mary, Greg. I mean, I could go on, Heather, Doreen. You guys made it happen, and we want to continue to see everybody take advantage of this and see all the incredible enhancements that marketing and the Velocity team collectively are going to launch next year for you. So a little diversion to advertising, and this is a shout out to all our DLC or Team Blue brokers tuning in right now. Last year in 2024, we had an incredible year in terms of education and awareness for our brand. We launched 4 new renewal campaign messages that went on radio. We saw over 54 million impressions, and that was right across the country. It was an incredible campaign for us as it kept us active and top of mind throughout the summer. And then, of course, we're all over TV and digital. We've really leaned into sports. Many of you might have tuned into some of the NHL or NFL games in the fall, and you'll see our banner ad with all the renewal messaging. We've been all over digital, especially our Facebook, Instagram. That gets a ton of engagement and lots of comments from our end consumer. And so you can expect to see a lot more of that placement, but in a more meaningful and driven way. I am so excited to announce that we are refreshing our campaign assets this spring. We're going to have all sorts of new messaging, very to the point, the value of a mortgage broker, why you should work with Dominion Lending Centers, and what that means. And on top of course, our campaign assets, we're going to be creating a brand new client journey. We're going to be refreshing the national website to make sure that we can intake all that consumer traffic and direct it directly back to you. Our goal is to create an increase in awareness, an increase in Canadians using a mortgage broker, Dominion Lending Centers mortgage broker, and getting you more business. With our new campaign assets, of course, on a national scale, will come a version for our brokers to be able to leverage in your own marketing, whether it be on social media, on your own websites, or however you show up to connect with your end clients. So watch your inbox in the spring. We're incredibly excited. And of course, along with the Pinch Realtor.ca partnership for Dominion Lending Centers and the REMAX, I think 2025 is going to be an incredible year to ensure that Canadians know to use a Dominion Lending Centers mortgage broker. So more on that shortly. I am incredibly excited for all of our DLCG brokers. So that's Mortgage Center Canada, Mortgage Architects, Dominion Lending Centers. We are launching an e-store. And this e-store has been a labor of love. We have a ton of different brand forward items for you to be able to order. We are launching this on February 5th. So please watch your inboxes. You'll be able to order your network specific items. We've got things like candles and hats. We have different things you could use for client gifts, for closing gifts, for referral partner gifts. We've got sweaters and cups and you name it. There's quite a bit back there. We're going to continue to be adding all throughout the year to make sure that as we go through the seasons, there's a little bit more things appropriate for perhaps golf or as we enter the winter season. So stay tuned for that. We're incredibly excited. We'll have an FAQ, all the details on how you can get set up and hooked up with merch as you go throughout 2025 and beyond. Now I want to move a little bit to how you can stay connected with the DLC group as we head into this year, and a little bit about what we achieved collectively last year. So social media has been a huge focus for us, and I know so many of our brokers also adopting social media. It is the easiest and best way to stay connected with your clients, your referral partners, and selfishly, all of us here at head office. So a couple of years ago, we launched our DLCG social media platforms. We're active on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. This is an incredible source for you in the industry to stay connected with what we're doing. That's live broadcast reminders, different product launches, different testimonials from some of our incredible brokers across the country when we launch different programs, reminders of, training opportunities. And so if you're not already following us at DLCG, please give us a like, a follow, engage with us, comment. This is an incredible resource for you to really understand where we're headed throughout the year. And I'm pleased to say we're up 33% in terms of followers and engagement from 2024. We also have a couple direct-to-consumer profiles, Dominion Lending Centers, Mortgage Architects, and Mortgage Center Canada. A lot of this content is around Bank of Canada changes. For Dominion Lending Centers, we push a lot of our In Conversation with Dr. Sherry Cooper, a ton of her resources, and we have a plethora of items that we encourage all of you, if you belong to one of these networks, to be sharing. So if you're not already following us at DLC Canada, Mortgage Architects, Mortgage Center, please do. It's just a great way for you to be able to help supplement maybe some of your own social media strategy with holiday messages. And again, Bank of Canada, first-time homebuyer. As rules changes, we are educating the direct to consumer on these platforms. And again, happy to announce that DLC is up 11.8% in followers, Mortgage Architects 7%, and Mortgage Center Canada 11.1% in followers. So what can you expect in 2025? Well, we are leaning in and we are really expanding our approach on social media. We want to increase our followers, increase our engagement, and increase content. So you can expect from all of our direct-to-consumer platforms different campaigns that are going to be going out for you to be able to leverage. You're also going to see those on the Marketing Library, of course, as a resource for you. But if you want a quick and easy share or a real engagement, again, please look for us and follow us on the various social media channels. I would also be remiss not to say that if you're not part of one of our agent pages on social media, we have the DLC agent Facebook page, our MA Round Nation, and our MCC page. These are closed groups for our network specifically. They're an opportunity for you to connect, ask questions, for other brokers to share best practices, and for you to hear from head office. So if you're not following us and engaged with us on one of these agent communities, please do so. We have thousands of followers, and it's a great opportunity, a great place for you to hear from head office as well. And join us for some of our live streams, just a really simple place to start. Now, in terms of communications, many of you that have been with us for a while are no stranger to our newsletters. We launched this newsletter strategy a few years ago. Mortgage Center Canada sends What's New MCC every Wednesday. DLC sends network news every Tuesday, as does Mortgage Architects with MA Now. This is a consolidated communication strategy that gives you a really in-depth look of what's happening as the week progresses. It's different things like reminders for State of the Union as a prime example, In Conversation with Sherry Cooper, which is one of our live broadcasts, opportunity for tons of training with our Velocity team, with others, our mortgage show, award-winning mortgage show, as Dave likes to say, our power calls, all sorts of different aspects that you can find here, as well as we really partner with all of our lenders and our insurers. So when they have updates or surveys or important messages to happen, we make sure it happens in the newsletter. I would say, let you know that when we send an independent email, so when you get an email from Gary or from Eddie or Rich or Mike or myself or Dave, those are because they're time sensitive, they're important, they're targeted. We want to make sure that you're seeing that content, but you're never going to miss it because it's always going to be looped back into the newsletter. We did a ton of communications last year, over 2,000 individual sends actually left our head office. So we were trying to keep you informed with things like AML, with, of course, the Gold Rush launch, and with all of the different events that we had last year. If you're not getting our newsletters and you're part of one of our 3 brands, please send me an email, kate@dlc.ca. We'll make sure that you are set up on that distribution list. This is an incredible resource to keep you connected to head office. Proud to also let you know that for DLC watching, Mortgage Architects has had the French version of MA Now go on Thursdays for the last year. But as of January 1st, 2025, our Quebec contingent with Dominion Lending Centers is going to see a French version of network news every Thursday from here on out. And it's just a really great resource. So I want to end a little bit on one of my favorite topics, which is events. Last year, we had an incredible year for events. We actually hosted over 30 across the country for all 3 of our brands. And I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to each of you that spent your time with us, that joined us, that flew. We had some team members that flew across the country for multiple event locations. Your support, your dedication is so incredible and really feeds us to keep going. And of course, our events would not be possible without our incredible partners. You show up for us every single day. Our lenders, insurers, you sponsor, you provide us with incredible speakers, and your support does not go unnoticed. Our events truly would not be possible without your continued support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. 2025 is going to be no exception. I'm going to get there. But 2024, we started the year with Owners University held in February in Vancouver, and we welcomed 400 attendees to that event. And then we ended the year on an Agent University tour. We hit up 3 cities before the end of last year, and we just finished our Agent University Laval, which was a full Quebec and French delivered event. Literally finished yesterday, and we welcomed 200 people to that yesterday. But overall, our universities attracted close to 2,000 agents in 5 cities, 5 events. It was a massive success for us. We constantly are looking at our content, making sure that we're adding value as we develop these events. Our goal is to make you take one thing, just even one thing away that's tangible and implement into your business so that you can see gains. And we're going to continue to do that. We were also hosted a ton of different socials, awards, galas. We have our virtual series, of course, the Mortgage Show. If you haven't seen that, it's a great resource for content. Dave has a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with our 5-minute piece. In conversation with Sherry Cooper and Eddie Cocciolo, that happens a couple hours after the Bank of Canada announcement. It's an incredible resource. It is a DLC broadcast, but everybody is welcome to join. It's live, so please make sure you tune in and get that expert advice from Sherry and Eddie. And of course, some awards galas and different broker socials that we host throughout the year. So 2025, what can you expect? MPP is happening. That's going live in Cancun, April 6th to 10th, and we cannot wait to welcome all of our incredible award winners to that. We're going to have a few socials, DLC Broker Social, the MCC Annual Awards Gala and Social. We're actually next week going to have the MA Awards Gala in Toronto. We're expecting over 250 attendees to celebrate all your incredible success from last year. And we're going to have MA workshops and the MCC Annual Owners Event. And of course, I have an exciting announcement, but I'm going to end on where our National Sales Conference is going to be this year, because I want to just echo what Gary said about this new series he's launched, Level Up in 5 with Gary. I actually am not going to do it justice. We have a little hype video that we're going to play to give you a little bit more of context around what you can expect from this series.
Hey friends, it's Gary Mauris here, and I have something big to share with you. We know this industry moves really quickly, and staying ahead often means working smarter, being on the cutting edge. That's why I'm thrilled to tell you about my video series, Level Up in 5. In just 5 minutes each week, I'm going to share actionable business tips, proven strategies, and insider secrets that are going to transform the way you work. From building stronger client relationships to mastering innovative marketing techniques, we're going to tackle it all because I want you to crush your goals and take your business to the next level. This isn't fluff. These are real practical tips that have helped many top performers that I've mentored and coached over the years. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now to get exclusive access to Level Up in 5 and start unlocking your potential. Together we're going to level up your business. Don't miss the opportunity to make your next year your best year. Let's make it happen.
That goes live January 29th. The first episode is going to be pushed. So as Gary mentioned, it's brand agnostic. It's open to everybody across the industry. If you're a lender, if you're with the competition, you're with the bank, and you're with one of our networks. The only way you're going to get on this list, though, as it's not a true DLCG initiative, it is a Gary Mauris initiative, is you need to sign up on the website. So visit GaryMauris.com or scan this QR code. It's going to take you directly there. Complete the information. I'm going to make sure that you get the weekly video series from our fearless leader, Gary Mauris. Now, I want to end on something big and something exciting. My inbox has been blowing up for a few weeks. Where is Inspire 2025, Kate? What are the dates? We want to plan. We can't wait. Well, I'm going to throw it over to an official reveal video. Let's take it. Hey DLCG, get ready, mark your calendars, and pack those bags because this September, we're bringing you Inspire like never before. We're excited to announce that our national conference is going to be held in the breathtaking beauty of Whistler, British Columbia. For the first time in over a decade, we're staying right here in Canada, and we can't wait to bring you an elevated experience. From exciting events to in-depth content, all designed to fuel your success, Inspire 2025 is not to be missed. So, are you ready to transform your business with Inspire 2025? You can expect to hear from some of the very best in the business, as well as the speaker circuit. We're bringing incredible keynote speakers to Whistler to talk to you about how you can transform your business. Did you know that Inspire 2025 promises to be the biggest conference yet? That's right, you can network with 700 plus individuals across all three brands and our lender partners for what truly is going to be an incredible few days. You're gonna leave refreshed with perhaps new relationships and of course reconnecting with old friends. Did somebody say poutine? You can rest assured we're gonna have a ton of Canadian food experiences. And if you've joined us for any national sales conferences in the past, you know that although we cherish our education, it's important that we all get together and enjoy the evening light as well. You are going to experience some themed events, some team building activities, and lots of fun surprises along the way. Our National Sales Conference will be more than just education. It's going to bring all of you together for an incredible 3 days. This is your opportunity to step into a space where ideas are going to flourish and connections are going to thrive. I promise you, if you attend Inspire 2025, your business will soar. So what are you waiting for? Get registered, save the date. We want to see you in Whistler this September 21st to 24th, 2025. I promise it will change your business, and we cannot wait to see you there. So the cat's out of the bag. We're staying in Canada. We're so excited. I can promise you it's going to be just an incredible time. Our leadership team is pumped. We're staying in Canada, giving our money back to Canadians. We're working right now on all of our speaker information and the registration. So mark your calendar, September 21st to 24th. We will be going live with registration on Monday, February 3rd. Why is this important? Well, as always, there is limited seats. Last year in 2023, we completely sold out. We had a wait list of over 100 brokers trying to get into the conference, and I don't believe this year is going to be any different. So if you want to secure a spot at Inspire 2025, join us in Whistler, please watch your inbox. We are actually going to be launching a discount in registration fee for the first 100 people that sign up. So once you see my email hit your inbox and my SMS hit your phone, please make sure you're one of the very first to register. The other final thing I want to leave you with is we are going to also be asking for participation from our network. If you are a speaker, if you feel like you have an incredible topic that you want to take main stage and share with your colleagues, we're going to be opening up speaker applications. We really want to make sure we're featuring some of the very best in our business, in our industry, and we know so many of you have incredible knowledge to share and give back to our network. So please watch your inbox for that too. If you are excited, if you want to be in the limelight during Inspire, we want to hear from you, and all the details on how you can apply to be one of our featured speakers will be delivered in your inbox as well. Now with that, I am going to turn it over to Jeff and Gary, but I just want to wish you an incredible 2025 and thank you for all your support in 2024. Marketing truly would not be what it is without the collaboration and the feedback from all of you. And if you do need anything, if you have any ideas throughout 2025, you want to see more from your marketing team, I truly mean it, please give me an email, kate@dlc.ca. I would be happy to collaborate, to hear you out. We want to make sure 2025 is your very best year yet. So we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks very much, Kate. Wow, what a great job. I think Whistler is a really, really good choice. Number one, it's a beautiful, beautiful destination. But with the cost of the US dollar right now, or Canada compared to the US dollar right now, I mean, it's as high as I've seen it in a very long time. And it just makes any US travel excruciatingly expensive, right? Very expensive. So I think that's a good choice. And We were there in 2017, I think, for another event, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I will turn it over to Jeff Willis to give you an update on all things Velocity. As we've already said, Velocity has done an incredibly great job. What they've done in terms of technology, what they did to be ahead of AML has been extraordinary. The integration of Gold Rush, only available on Velocity, obviously, has been just phenomenal. So with that, Jeff, welcome.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. I'm going to get a little support from Tara. I know we are well into this event at an hour and 17. So some of these things I'm going to go through a little quicker than I had anticipated because you've both covered a few of those items. So Tara, if you'd be kind enough to just go to that first screen for me, I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the year. Gary, you showed some increasing numbers. I am really proud to say that we sort of knocked out our volumes out of the park. Last year at this time, I was talking to everybody about $80 billion in throughput. I'm pleased to say that we crossed over 120 billion this year, 240,000 live submissions. So that has a lot to do with not necessarily just increases in the marketplace, but increases in terms of our onboarding, particularly within our three brands. And a real shout out I have to make to the team at Mortgage Architects, our team with Mike's leadership. We moved the needle 17 percentage points in the percentage of Mortgage Architects people that adopted Velocity this year. So that was a huge increase year over year and had a lot to do with this outcome. Client experiences, the online application, 1.6 million clients are filling out our online application. Gary mentioned AI. You're going to see AI advance kind of how clients go through the process of letting us know more about themselves, more about their circumstances. We're going to see voice activation. I mean, everybody today is using AI just in their regular day-to-day life, just as simple as using their Chrome or Safari searches. AI is there, and you're going to see it more and more meaningful. I'll talk a little bit about that as we move on. One of the things we really want to improve on this year is more and more direct documents being transferred to our lenders. You're going to see that become more and more prevalent. We're really pleased to see Desjardins, MCAP Group, and their lenders all now taking documents directly. And we have entered into some serious projects with both TD and Scotiabank now. So we'll see, I think, to the large extent, almost all of our top 10 lenders taking documents directly. So we've seen an uptick, but we could do a better job. I'm not going to cover off the idea about the CRM because I think both Kate and Gary have covered that really well. So Tara, if you'd be kind enough to just move us along, that would be awesome. So unpacking some of those numbers, we're at now over 9,000 Velocity customers. About 7% of our business comes from outside of DLC Group. We're looking to expand that. We see more and more people wanting to come to the platform. It's a good segue to a recruiting conversation sometimes. Sometimes people just get on Velocity and stay on Velocity where they are at. Now that we have multiple years of 200,000 plus submissions, we're getting more and more meaningful data. And again, that's where AI is going to play a role, is we're going to be able to extract that data and put it into meaningful and actionable data points for all of you. And the basis for those will be what we call our Connect reports, which are really designed for lenders. I'll touch on that a little bit. And for our Build reports, which is our layer of database reporting that can come out from your database. So you just go about doing your business every day, collecting data from clients, but there is gold there in that data. And it's our job to make sure that we send it out to you. It's great to have the communications going through Gold Rush, but there's also an opportunity for you to be able to mine that data and really think of it as a resource you want to interact with. Now, we mentioned, I think at the beginning, Eddie talked about 1.2 million customers coming up for renewal. 250,000 of those are actually inside the Velocity database in this calendar year. And it's not just the subject properties that you've already done mortgages for. It's for those customers that disclose and let you know about other properties that they owned. There's much more opportunity in the non-subject properties that sit inside your database where you're probably not interacting. And that's where you can really take advantage of new opportunities. You can go forward to the next slide, please, Tara. That would be great. So I'm just going to quickly touch on a couple of big projects. We call these big planes that we landed in 2024. The first one, of course, was Gold Rush. And I like to say that Gold Rush isn't just about the communication platform. It's really about having an attitude of abundance. And as much as we think about mortgages day in, day out, our customers don't. So knowing that so many of them in Canada have to transact in the next couple of years on this thing called their mortgage gives us a great opportunity to grease the wheels, to get the conversations going, and being real solution providers. And that's where both the Gold Rush campaigns, as well as your database and the value of build, can help you reach out to those clients at the right time and make that proposition a personal one. Next one, please. Thanks. AML, just want to touch on this very briefly, only because it's only 10 weeks really that we had it for the for 2024. We've had about 35,000 risk assessments already completed. We've also built in the PEP declaration into the client experience and into forms. And I think the other thing that people are doing really well and have really embraced and are learning quickly for agents and brokers is this risk rating idea. And that is something that you'll probably hear more from Mary Gronkowski about over time. I think it's going to be upon us. I know we all deal with the best quality customers, and if they're not best quality customers, we don't necessarily take an app. But at some point, there will need to be some sort of feeling that there is some versions of or divergence of how these applicants have a risk rating. So you'll probably hear more about that from our compliance team over time. And I hope broker owners are really taking advantage and getting a sense for using the broker owner dashboards for some oversight and getting a sense that everybody is actually going through that risk rating process. I know that many of you have taken advantage of turning on this notion that you want your agents to actually complete the AML before they're doing their submission. And that's something we've made available to broker owners to turn on or off depending on how they want to run their operation. And then I think, as Gary mentioned at the beginning, we do this all expense free. So the ongoing monitoring, the reporting, it's all going to be free of expense. We've done a really good job, I think, of doing direct connections and not had to rely on third-party vendors that have a profit motive in order to be in the AML business. So next one. Thanks, Karen. I just want to touch on this thing. I touch on it very briefly as we move along into the presentation. This is for our lender partners that are with us here today. Connect Reports is a really big addition that we landed this year. And really what we're doing is we're trying to take that data and let our lenders use that information in order to make some real business time decision making. You know, it's great. You always know what you're doing as a lender. You don't necessarily always know what everybody else is doing. So we're trying to find a means by which to give you really good information so you can make some decisions on product, pricing, and so forth. And later on, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to try to support that on a regional level. I think Kate Henderson, who is responsible for this product and our VP of Lender Experience, has just put out our 2024 market snapshot, which kind of summarizes what happened last year in terms of our pipeline, business mix, application types, and that'll be coming out each and every month. So you'll have real-time data on kind of what's going on in the marketplace and where it's going. And really, it's designed to drive all of our lenders back to their Connect portal and go in and with some dynamism, go and get the information they really want to have. So if you're keen on knowing what's going on for your business in Alberta, you'll be able to get it just for Alberta. You want to know what's going on for a certain kind of product type, you'll be able to get that. So these are the kinds of things that we're trying to do to enhance our relationships to our lenders. You'd be kind enough to move that along, Tara. I appreciate it. Now, I think it's been great that we've been having these use of QR codes. I mean, didn't COVID bring back QR codes as a reasonable tool? So for those that got their cameras out, I suggest taking a picture of this. I talk about this every year at the beginning of the year, and that's your build your pipeline. This is a great framework for putting together a sales meeting. It gives you SMS content, it gives you email content, and it gives you some scripts, some phone scripts. And the whole PDF document is right there on our website, but it's a great way to start the year. If you're thinking about what to do at our next office meeting, this is a great content to start thinking about. Even if you do it in partially for maybe looking at your variable customers or looking at doing annual renewals, it's a great way to start. So this is something to consider as part of the first quarter. Next one for the broker owners, next screen, we have a broker owner workbook. And this is a really good opportunity for you to take advantage of saying, this is how we do things here in our office. So if you want to have some sort of automation around our smart document solution, you want to have your own consents, you want to just get a sense for who's doing what with which lender, this is a really good tool. The other thing you're going to hear about is that we're going to be over time going to be doing more business with more suppliers. So if you want to get a sense for which one of my agents are picking which suppliers and to which volume, that information will be available to you through some of our reporting. And again, we'll explain all that in that workbook. So I'd really recommend taking a look at this QR code if you run or operate an office. Next one. Okay, you are going to hear a tech hack from an old hack. We talked a lot about SMS and how good it was at Agents University. This was probably one of the more popular things that we heard about. And this QR code is actually to a very simple 100-second video that Michael Masters, one of our trainers, put together. So for those that have taken advantage of our SMS plugin, meaning you can send SMS out from Velocity and the Cold Rush CRM, you're assigned a new number, right? That number is specifically for text. We all know you have a mobile number that's different. Wouldn't it be great if when you send those texts out to your customers that they saw your name and not this random new number? Well, that's what this is. We've shown you how to do group texting. We show you how to create audience lists. Now I'm going to show you how to do a text-only label. And really all that means is you go into your own contact card and you update your contact card with a Velocity-provided text number. That's the Twilio number that we give you. Then it's important that you share that updated card in your address book to your customers. So if it's Jeff Willis and I've got a new number and I send it to Gary Mauris, my new customer, Gary takes my contact card, puts it in an address book. That number is now associated with my name. So from now on, when I'm sending out Gary and other customers who have got the same address card, a text, it's coming from Jeff Willis. It's no longer coming from 778-925-7442. Okay, so it's a great way to make your Velocity text personal. Our trainers are available to help you get this set up. Customer care is available to help you get this set up. But truth be told, if you hit this QR code and watch that video from Michael, I think you'll find it very easy to go forward. I've had hundreds of you who attended the Agents University drop me some lines and let you know how this has actually changed and made your communications with your customers more personal. So I hope you'll take advantage of this. Carry on if you don't mind, Tara, and we'll go to the next one. This is something Kevin Deere really wanted me to reinforce, and this is particularly valuable for our customers in Ontario, where I understand we haven't even really seen much in the way of updated property values since 2016. And of course, we've seen other providers increase their costs when you're trying to look at getting values. So from this point forward, when you're doing a refinance application and you're validating the property address, we are actually providing you with an estimated value range of about 15% on the PDF that subject property validation creates. So as an example, this is what I've got here. If you knew that you needed about, somewhere between $1 million and $1,150,000 in the value of a home in order to make the loan to value work to do a refinance, it's going to give you that information up front. We don't charge you any extra cost for that validation. And our hope is in the next little while that we'll move from it being a range to probably more likely a midpoint. And we're also going to probably add it to the estimated value in your deal screen. So I think this can be particularly valuable when you're getting into dialogue with clients about refinances, paying out consumer debt. You don't want to go through that whole exercise, send it into the lender, only to find later that the value is nowhere near where you need it to be in order to make that deal work. So I really encourage people to take advantage of using this property estimator. As I said, all you have to do is hit the validate the subject property details, and this will show up as an output on the PDF to help you. Okay. So again, trainers, customer care, Kev, our account managers, they know this product well in this new edition. So we're really pleased to have brought this along, and we think this is going to be well used this year. Next screen, please, Tara. Thank you. Velocity 3. This is basically being built with the input and the consultation of our top brokers. And really, it's like any technology. You are either growing or you're rotting. And it's really important that we continue to make, as we add more load and more production into Velocity. You saw that 240,000 live submissions. It has to continue to stay fast and get faster. It has to have the ability to handle documents. It has to have the ability to incorporate AI into it. So we are bringing together Velocity 3, which you're going to see more of as we get into February and beyond. And it's really all the best of classic, all the best of modern, and bringing together. So we've got ourselves a forward-looking solution that incorporates all the things. I'm just going to go to the next screen here just to give people a little bit of a closer look at one of the actual deal screens. Well, it's not as close as I remember seeing it, but that gives you an idea of the updated, there you go, customer experience. So again, this was very much built and looked at by all of our top 50 MVP brokers, many of which were classic users, many of which are modern users, and they both love each. So this is really what we're trying to do with Velocity 3, is bring the best of both right together and make them work for everybody's favor. You can carry on there if you don't mind. Connect reports. I wanted to let our lender partners know, and our brokers for that matter, that we've done a little bit of a reorganization. And some of the ladies that have done such great work for us in the account management side, I'm thinking of Vivian and Carly and Michelle and Christina, we are now having them take on some new responsibilities and are providing some additional business development manager support through Newton to our lender partners. And the thinking is that people who are in the field in British Columbia and Ontario working for our lenders, they can begin to use the outputs that come out of Connect reports. They can begin to think about putting in promotional products that perhaps only their best brokerages get to see. So we have some real opportunities to make this more real on the ground at the 5-foot level, and not just sort of as a head office sort of mentality. So I think you're going to see that team is working together with Kate Henderson, and we're really excited. It's a very strong group of ladies that we believe are going to have a lot to move the Connect reports and the importance that this data will make to lenders available and useful in their day-to-day activities. So look for more from that in the coming weeks, and we can go on if you'd like. Thanks, Tara. And last but not least, this is a really important tool I want to spend just a moment or two on, and I know we've kept you for a long time. It's Broker Bridge, and this is for our broker owners. This is for our agents, and it basically is going to be a brand new enterprise-wide intranet. And we've coined this phrase internally that we want this to be your single point of truth, the place you start your day. And it's going to be one login to DLC Group tools, training, resources, marketing. And we're going to start with a couple of little teasers to get you kind of going to want to come in here. One is going to be what we call our leaderboard, which is really just a summary of everybody's funded volume and gives you a sense for where you are at in terms of your trajectory as compared to your goals. We also believe it's going to be a very, very great tool for all of our broker owners on onboarding, as well as the networks. So it's really a one entry system. So as you add a new person on, all the things to set up Velocity and get them onto Equifax and make sure that they're with the regulator, all the things that you'd need when you're putting somebody on board is going to be done there. So those are the first two items that we think of when we think of this intranet. But this will be another place where AI will be prominent, where you can go in, ask questions. How we deliver customer support will also change quite a bit with the advance of AI, and it's going to form part of this. So I bring this up because this year we did make the strategic decision to bring the DLC Group tech team and the Newton tech team together. And under Steve Mitchell's leadership, I think we've got a really good opportunity to make sure that all of these assets kind of speak well together. They're forward looking, and they are incorporating all the most newest in technology in order to move forward. The other thing Steve would give me a hard time if I didn't mention this is that we are doing a lot to enhance security, and that last bullet is important. We've got now what we call multi-factor authentication, and for those that don't know that acronym, it's basically meaning that when you're coming in and you're going to log in, we're asking you to take that code that you get onto your text message and add it back in. So it's two forms of security, and we're going to see that more and more through other assets. There's a lot of other things that we're working on. These were the things I wanted to make sure got some attention and we told you about. And I'll stop there, Gary, because I know we're a long way in. But before I do, I just wanted to say a couple things. One, I think it's so great to take the best brand in the mortgage business and match it with the best brand in the real estate business. So congratulations to the team working with RE/MAX. I've got a lot of history having worked with RE/MAX in my previous job, and I've always found them to just be the best quality realtors, and just a great relationship. And you know how I feel about the relationship with Realtor.ca. I think anytime you can be front facing to where every Canadian home buyer is looking for their next home, you just can't help but win. Just putting that brand in front of all those eyeballs is a big thing. And then last but not least, I want to thank you for making that decision to go from prefs to commons as a vested party. It just says wonders. I think you just covered it very briefly, but it really does make a big deal to all of us. It makes the story a lot easier in the public markets, and it just says so much about your and Chris's commitment to DLC Group going forward. So thanks.
Yeah, listen, Jeff, thank you so much. You've done really, really great work for the company since day one, and your navigation through this last year in AML and what we've done with velocity and the proof of velocity and the output because of it has been incredible. Just some comment on that Remax thing before we hang. Listen, we have brokers from all different brands across the country that have worked with Remax agents and other agents, Royal LePage and Coldwell, and across the country. If you're currently with DLC, MCC, MA, and you're inside of a Remax office and you have a relationship in place, we're not going to disrupt that, right? You're part of us, right? Obviously, because DLC has a national ad fund, it's a fit for DLC, because there's cost to it. We're sponsoring their events right across the country, dozens and dozens and dozens of events throughout the year. But it's going to be a really just good initiative for DLCG as a whole. And we're excited about it. But most importantly, our loyalty is to all of our agents, all of our owners. And if anyone has any concern about the relationships they currently have in place that they're working with, you don't have to. As we unroll this thing and unravel it and work through it, we'll address any situations that come up. We're very fair when it comes to that. You guys know that about us. And with that, guys, I'll sort of wrap. Really, really good. Sorry, guys, it went longer. We had a lot to cover, as you can tell. There's lots going on at DLCG. We're working very hard all the time to look at new initiatives, to strengthen our brands, to create more tools, and most importantly, help all of you originate more loans, become more efficient and more profitable. So I'll leave it with that. If any of you want to reach out to me, as you always can, Gary at DLC.ca. I appreciate every single one of you, to our staff, to our agents, to our owners, to our partners, to our lenders, to our suppliers. As the old saying goes, right? It takes a village, and you are part of our tribe. And we're very, very appreciative and grateful for the relationships that we have with all of you. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Kate Brady, always a great job as you do. And I expect your team to continue to do going forward. And I'm really, really excited about the future. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great afternoon.